Hey guys, and welcome back to Okami. Bit of a special part, this one, and for that reason we've come back to Kamiki Village, where it seems that, wouldn't you know it, Susano has once again fucked the metaphorical dog.
Yeah, he's really buggered up right now. Because clearly everyone's angry at him. Well, Mr. Orange is angry at him.
And he's never angry, so you know it's got to be something bad.
Exactly, and yeah, he kind of drunk the sacred sake.
Well, what's wrong with drinking sake, sacred or otherwise?
Because it was the 8 purification sake, the one that, in the legend, helped to defeat Orochi.
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, we're not going to have any of that if we need to go take him down, so... Basically, everyone's buggered.
Yeah, seems like it. So what, is Orochi going to come out of the moon cave now? Is that where we're going towards in the plot?
Well, he's not necessarily going to come out of the moon cave, because, you know, he's, like, all evil. He don't have to do that. He can just do things himself. And since it's 100 years since the last, since Orochi was killed, there's a certain rite that he's rather, hungry for, shall we say.
Ah, right, we're talking sacrifices here.
We are indeed talking sacrifices here, and it's not going to end well, I feel.
Oh. He drank that whole barrel?
I know, it's impressive. Like, Kushi took so long to get it back. Well, she didn't take that long to get it back to the village. But, like, she struggled so much to get it back. And then the greedy beggar just drank the whole bloody thing.
Oh.
So, ultimately, everything that's happened is all Susano's fault.
Wait, was that him at the start of the game who pulled the sword out?
Indeed, it was.
Oh my god.
And this is where Susano's character begins to get actually really fascinating. Because up until now he's been this bumbling idiot who's tried to be heroic and just failed miserably. We've been doing all the work for him.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually begins to get quite a bit of depth in this cutscene, because his whole motivation was that he didn't want to live up to being the descendant of Nagi.
Oh, he didn't want to. Okay, that's quite a bit different from not being able to.
So it was too much for him to cope with, so he went to the moon cave to remove the sword to prove that the whole thing was a lie. And ultimately that proved to be a really stupid move. And so he's been running away from what he did ever since. And that explains why he believed his sword to be possessed.
Okay, that makes sense.
Why he has been trying to do the right thing, because he blames himself for everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it is fascinating, because he has quite a... Like, you wouldn't have necessarily thought he was going to have a major arc, but considering Ami as a character doesn't necessarily grow much because she's a wolf and, well, she's very expressive, she's not got a whole lot of stuff going on. Like, she's got a bit of a character, but nothing that's going to grow necessarily. So a lot of the character development is pushed onto the likes of Isun and Susano and all of that. Mm-hmm. And I think that it's really effective, because it's why I think people do end up liking Susano as much as they do. Because for the start of the game, he's a sort of comedy-ish character, but then he actually becomes quite an empathetic character. But yeah, things ain't good right now. Because you may remember that there was Hayabusa's prophecy that Mushi was going to get killed by an arrow from the sky.
Oh, right, is he selecting his victim?
Yes, that's exactly what Orochi's doing. A arrow comes flying down from the sky and lands in the house of the selected victim, and he's chosen Kushi.
Oh my god, and she brought the sake. that could have stopped him. Oh, it's like poetry.
Indeed.
Music is fucking phenomenal right now, by the way. Goddamn.
Oh, it's the soundtrack of this game is freaking amazing. Like, I've actually got the soundtrack, like the actual physical soundtrack. It's beautiful, and it's cutscenes like this where it does just stand out so perfectly. And I mean, this actual track, I believe, is called Kushi's Determination.
Hence the episode title.
Indeed. Because obviously she believes in Susano, because Susano has a crush on her, but ultimately she has a bit of a crush on Susano as well. And anybody that knew the story of Yamata no Orochi and Susano should actually recognise Kushi as a character.
Uh-huh.
Because she is part of that original Orochi myth. Because ultimately what happens is that Susano no Mikoto, as his Japanese name is, descended from heaven and proceeded to the headwaters of the river Hai, or Hi, in the province of Izumo. And he hears the sound of weeping at the headwaters of the river and finds an old man and woman. And between them is a young girl who they caress and lament over. And basically, their daughter is called Kushi Narahime.
Ah, okay. Is like Mr. and Mrs. Orange meant to be the old people in that tale?
I think that's probably what they were going for. It's not quite the same, but it is relatively similar.
Uh-huh.
And basically, the elderly couple are weeping because they had 8 children, all of them daughters, but they had been devoured year after year by Orochi, and there's no means of escape for the current daughter that they have.
Jeez.
And because basically they have to give their daughter to Orochi as a sacrificial rite. I won't explain exactly where the plot in that sense is going, but that is where Kushi originates from, and it's also where her design originates from as well. But that is something that I will explain once we've actually gotten through the whole thing, because spoilers.
Yeah, of course. So I guess we're heading to the Moon Cave now?
Indeed we are, and actually I think I might have cocked up on a song name. Don't think the song during the cutscene was Kushi's Determination, but I think we're getting it very shortly.
As long as it turns up in this part, it's fine, mate.
It definitely turns up in this part. This is one of the things where I need my my official Complete Works art book there with this list of the soundtrack there and everything to and the actual soundtrack apps to properly pinpoint everything. But yes, here we go. We're going to give Kushi a ride because she's determined to do this, and really there is no other choice. So we need to take her across Shinshu Field to the Moon Cave.
You know what this reminds me of, right?
What?
A certain part of Twilight Princess.
Oh, would that be like when Midna gets her powers sapped?
Yes, indeed, Midna's Lament.
Yes. So yes, this is just a really epic bit of the game.
It does feel it.
Like, it's amazing.
Oh, this music is fucking stellar.
I know. There are moments, like there are certain tracks in Okami which are good, but just sort of fill into ambient. But there are other pieces like this one which just stand out as being absolutely freaking phenomenal.
Are we going to use the Thundersake to break the barrier?
No, so Kushi's brought the Thunder Sake with her in the hopes that Orochi will be able to get drunk on that, and that will help us defeat him. Because even though we don't have the 8 Purification Sake, the idea is that maybe we can try that. But there's only so much we can do, I feel. But yes, since Waka has the Serpent Crystal, he's going to open up that barrier. And actually, if you looked at the way the barrier is and like the little things inside, they actually look sort of like snakes.
Huh.
So it makes sense that the serpent crystal is the thing to break it. Like if you look at the little light...
Yes. Yeah, I see it, yeah.
Effects, they're snaky. Which I think is just a really nice little touch.
Was that flourish necessary? Is it part of the ritual?
It's Waka. He's a nut job. He's going to do a flourish whatever he likes, really.
It's easier to see the snakes now, yeah.
Yeah, I do just think it's a really nifty little touch.
Okay, there's one of our jobs done for us. What, no fight? I'm insulted.
Well, you see, Waka's not really... Like, he fought us because he wanted to test us, but now it's just like, this is my job. To be fair, I completely disagree. Because of, we've kind of brought the maiden to Orochi. I don't think we can really let this stand for long, because I can see it going really far south very quickly.
Oh my god. That escalated quickly.
So, Waka now can't get through because the barrier has shut behind us.
And I'm guessing that serpent crystal was one of a kind, eh?
Pretty much, yeah. The whole thing with this barrier is actually only one other besides the victim can get in.
Oh, okay.
So, basically that was us, and Isun doesn't count because he's too tiny.
Oh, well, that's just mystical discrimination there. The most random kind of discrimination. You don't know where you're going.
But now we are locked into this stretch of the game. And, oh, what a prophecy.
Not the best. I mean, the moon coming out isn't something that happens at random. It follows a set of phases.
Exactly. And also, you know, the moon was sort of already out because there was a full moon above Kamiki Village, so, the moon's already out, mate.
Yeah, he's had a tough day. I'll let him go on this one.
Well, this is true. We have kind of screwed him out of having his victory over Orochi because we kind of nabbed it for ourselves.
Susano.
I know. Also, did you see the graphical glitch which was making his butt visible?
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn.
It's the whole thing with the Wii version. It introduces certain graphical glitches, that being one of them, which is annoying but kind of hilarious.
Man, I expected like a lot more blue and whatnot from the moon cave. This is... dank is the only way to describe it, really.
Yeah, it's really awful. And this is ultimately one of the longer dungeons in the game, and it's really fascinating because it's a very different style of dungeon to everything that we've faced before.
Okay, well, we've only faced two, but I get what you mean.
Well, yeah, but it's very much more open in the grand scheme of things, and we've got to do quite a bit to even get in to the proper moon cave. Because right now we are in the calcified caverns, I believe. And look, we have imps talking to us!
Huh.
Which I just find really awesome because you've got these villains who've just been fighting normally, and actually the music they're playing right now is was playing is the extermination music. But like they seem like regular NPCs.
They seem pretty decent, actually.
And they actually give us food, which is really hilarious.
So are they going to let us through? What's going on here?
Well, they're not going to let us through because we're just some stupid mutt, which is really annoying. So we're going to have to try and find a way of making it past them. You're not going to believe how we managed to do that, but it's a highlight.
Well, I look forward to it. Isn't that a boss gate?
That is one of the golden gates which is used for bosses. It's not really technically used for the same thing. You are going to have to do a battle against I think, a brand new enemy.
Okay.
But it's not. It's not like a proper boss gate. I think because since entering Kamiki Village, you haven't had a chance to save, and obviously there's been quite a lot of cutscene.
Right.
They thought, well, we'll give them that, and then if they get screwed over, they're not going to get shoved back a lot further, because there's still a bit of time before we get to a proper save mirror.
Oh, this guy looks cool.
And here we have a black imp, which I believe is the final type of imp that we will fight.
So what's his special abilities, mate? Go down the list, if you will.
So what he does is he has these floating golden skulls, and he will shoot them at you, and it can actually be very dangerous if you get caught by it, because it's very powerful. But thankfully, we are also super powerful because of the life beads, and it didn't stand a chance.
Oh my god. You only just finished your explanation before he was cut in twain there.
Timed it to perfection. And, yay, we have a chest that I just sort of tackled past, but there we go, it's a mask!
Oh my god. Don't tell me.
We
We're gonna play dress up here, aren't we?
are indeed, so we have a blank canvas, and we get to paint whatever the hell we like on it. Obviously, this is slightly a challenge. So I tried a few different things as designs. So I thought my first one would be, let's try and draw Bayonetta. But obviously that was a freaking disaster.
Oh, it looks just like her, mate.
Well, you see, I got the glasses and I got the beauty mark, but no. And also it turned out like that. So I was just like, no, we're not going to go with that one. I don't like that as a design.
Okay, let's see what your second choice was then.
So I wanted to try and do the wonderful 101 logo.
Oh yeah, I see it.
That also ended up being pretty horrendous. So that was a no. So what even is that? This is where the drawing isn't necessarily quite as precise as you want it to be in the Wii version. You could probably pull off these designs in the PS2 and PS3 versions. But anyway, I thought I would just go for the rather simple, let's do Army as a design. Still not quite Army, but it's close enough. If you've got the little design down the middle, the eyes and the ears, and that looks kind of funny, so I'll go with that. It's close enough.
It'll be enough to fool me, mate.
Obviously, I mean, the smart thing would have been drawing some sort of katakana or kanji on it. But I just thought, no! Let's go up to them looking just like we did before and see what they say.
Now, I want to take a picture of myself and wear that as a mask.
I mean, you see, that's what I would have liked to have done. Because they probably would have fallen for it, because they seem pretty thick as anything. But a picture will do, I feel.
So is this all we gotta do to get into the dungeon? Because I expected a bit more, honestly. I expected it to be a bit more roundabout.
Well, indeed, that is basically all we need to do to get into the dungeon, because they are obviously thick as anything, and they are going to think that we are actually an imp, because clearly we look like an imp, because we have a mask.
Wow.
Yeah, they are really stupid. So we're just gonna, get into the moon cave and see what awaits us.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, guys, we shall see you next time in the Okami playthrough, where I believe it's dungeon time and we're one step closer to Orochi. See you then.